You're listening to Hotep Ish with your host, Dwann B. Intelligent Ish Talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
What up, y'all? Yes, I am here on camera. I'm actually here on camera. Like, thank y'all for listening early today when we talked about what was going on with the Bruce's Beach. If you want to be informed and be up on what's going on, go back and watch that. Y'all with me twice in one day. I appreciate y'all. We are here. We are going to be talking about the importance of mental health and why mental health is so important. And as a matter of fact, we don't go deeper than that because people are always talking and saying, mental health, take care of your mental health. It's like that's become like the cliche of like the world these days. Take care of your mental health. Everyone talks about that, but no one ever says, okay, what is mental health? How do you take care of your mental health? What are things we can do to keep ourselves sane? And then they be like, well, hold on, why is my chat disabled? Hold on. This thing is saying chat disabled? That ain't right. This thing is saying chat disabled. No. I don't want my chat to be disabled. What's going on, YouTube? I want to be able to... Let me see here. No. Are we going to leave out and come back in? Because this is saying live chat disabled. And I don't like that. I like being able for y'all. No, that's probably why. It's saying made for kids. Hell no, I went on made for kids. Change that. Now let me see if I go here and enable the chat now. Okay, cool. The chat is open. Let's see, chat room. I'm like, I got a whole bunch of thumbs up, but I ain't got no chat. What's going on? First things first. Now somebody in the chat, say something to me. In the chat room. Maybe y'all gotta refresh y'all pages. Maybe you gotta refresh your page. Yeah, refresh your page and then come on into the chat. There we go. It's open. Well, anyway, I'm over here running my mouth. Oh, there we go. What's up, Ben, Frank, Evan, Don Philly? Yeah, I need the family up in here. Bruce, thank you. I'm like, why ain't nobody talking? Well, anyway, we here. We talking about mental health 'cause, again, right back on track. What was I saying? Okay, people always talk about mental health. We need to make sure we keep our mental health. And they give you, good advice. Go see a therapist, walk and drink water and don't stress and, and that's cool. But it's levels to this mental health thing. You know what I mean? And it's more than one way to approach keeping your mind right. And one method that worked well for me has been hypnotherapy. Because when I was working with the kids all those years, it was like that shit was stuck. That was hard, you know. And I went to talk therapy for years, and I remember I would talk to my therapist about some stuff that I saw with the kids I was working with, and I end the session counseling them. The thing that got me past all that was two, and especially my third session with my special guest I have today. Welcome, Miss Kendell Cobb, the greatest hypnotherapist on earth. How you doing, Kendell?
You are too kind. Thank you, Dwann. Wow, that's quite an intro.
I remember before I went to you, I told you I had tried somebody else. And
Right.
they were nice. They were cool. But it was like, all I know is I was just tired of going to therapy over the same shit and talking over and over and over and over and over and over. And then 15 times over and over and over and over again. And getting incremental progress. When I went to sessions with you, I got progress through leaps and bounds.
You did. You really did.
Yeah.
You really did.
Like, I want to start off about, because it's not just, see, people think mental health is just when you all the way down and out. You need stuff like hypnotherapy when you're doing good and you want to get better. Because you might be doing good, all your bills are paid, everything is cool, but you know you got a level you ain't reached yet. And you and I had a unique session, and it was called Manifest. I'm gonna do this interview backwards, so you know me, Kendall. I'm unorthodox. We'll get around everything.
So am I.
Yeah.
I'm very unorthodox.
You did a manifestation session with me. Like, not manifest. What do you call it?
We opened your manifestation portal.
Talk to them about that. Like, manifest, for those of you who don't understand, oftentimes we get in our own way. How many times have y'all in the chat room seen something or had an idea in your mind that you wanted to do? And I know my Cardology clients, we've talked about this. You have something that you want to do, but you stub your own toe and get in your own way. And so Kendell has a program that really, that shit works. Talk to us about how you even, like, what is that? What?
How do I explain this? Well, opening your manifestation portal is a way to open your chakras up. Usually it's your crown chakra, but it could be any chakra. I did it with the woman right before Christmas. No, is it Christmas? Yeah, right before Christmas. And for her, it was her palms. It's opening up a chakra so that you can connect with the universe and pull down what it is that you wish to receive. So a lot of times we know what we want, but one of the things that I will ask people first is, why do you want it? A lot of times people just, I want to be rich. And the question is, why do you want to be rich? Do you want to be rich for your ego? Do you want to be rich because you have things that you need to do and you have planned? Is it for your legacy, for your children and your children? Like, where is it coming from? Because sometimes people want to be rich because they have low self-esteem and they think that will make them feel better. So I really want to know, like, what's really going on. So that's, you notice I ask a lot of questions, right? Mm-hmm. You were at the receiving end of that.
Yes. You asked, like a session with you is like if it's gonna be 2 hours, it's gonna be an hour and 40 minutes of conversation and questions. And because people think hypnosis is you're getting sleepy. It's not that, people. It really is a conversation. And I know you can't tell us your methods, Kendell, because you create your own, so I get that part. But what are you doing? Like, how does it work so fast? one conversation going right into
Well,
unlocking things people have been repressing for a long time. How does that happen in one
it's
conversation?
it's not the conversation that makes it happen, it's the hypnosis. But the conversation, when we're chatting, it feels like we're having a conversation, but you're telling me things that you don't even realize. I'm learning way more about you than what it appears on the surface. So that tells me how to bring you under and what kind of a process I'm going to take. And, it's a lot. It's so hard to explain. And being honest, a lot of it I don't even understand. I just know how to do it.
Yeah. And that's
So it's based on what you tell me, it's based on your intake form, it's based on a lot of things. And then some of it, there's a portion of it that I believe comes down from the divine that I don't know how to explain. There is definitely a spiritual something that takes place.
you right. There's a tab. I know, like when I read my cards with people, Zach, I have all the books here when it comes to cards. I have dozens of books around here, apps. But really, it's about what I connect to. It's a certain
Right,
connection.
right.
And people are, and this is the part that, for those of you out there, for a lot of people out there, it's hard for you guys to conceive what we're talking about, because we've been so trained to be so analytical with everything. Everything has to have a 1-to-1-to-1-to-1. And when you get in talking about spirit and entities outside of yourself or inside of yourself, it could coming through you, people get real spooky and skeptical. But it's like this, for people like that, I explain it like this. Everybody listening, well, I'm on a landline, but most people listening are listening through they have Wi-Fi on. They either have Wi-Fi on, or they're watching through their cell phone, or they're getting that cell phone reception. Well, the communication that's going on between my device, you, and whoever's watching on your whatever device you're watching, there's a whole language going on up in that realm that you can't see, that these devices are tapped into. And you don't necessarily need to understand how those devices work to receive the internet. That's almost like what I look at it like with what you do, Kendell. Because y'all know me, I be like trying to get my information. I tried to like really needle it down with Kendell, like, okay, what are you doing? No. But what are you doing? I know I hear that. No, but what are you doing? And it's like none of it. But after the sessions, the shit work.
I can't even explain it. I wish I could explain it. I can't explain it. I don't know. It just works. That's all I can say. It works. I don't even need to know really how, like, but different people say different things. I could see 5 different clients that have 3 of the exact same issues, but I will approach them all differently. Or even when I'm counting them down, I will have, I take lots of notes and everything, and I'll follow that. But then it's like sometimes something will come out of my mouth that I didn't think of first. It just comes out almost like it's channeled.
I have a question.
And that'll be the thing that'll be like the 1-2 punch that just knocks them right out.
I hear that.
That channeled thing. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I don't know. It
just comes. And you'll hit on things that'll be like, whoa, what the fuck? That happened to me a couple times. Like, I didn't even say that. I don't remember saying that.
Well, because your divine speaks to my divine. We're communicating. And then you'll notice in a session, we get really close. Mm-hmm. Even though it's through Zoom, we get really, really close. It's a very intimate discussion, And it's funny because people have always spilled their guts to me. As a kid, people would think.
You
and I love that.
I
find humans so fascinating.
You have a very trustworthy type of energy. Now let's just back it all up. Before outside of therapy, like, My question is, what makes somebody be like, okay, look, because hey, chat room, I know y'all. Chris Bryan, she's nationwide. She works through Zoom and by phone. Oh, Kendall, while we talking, what's the phone number that you use? The 800 number.
Toll free, it's 1-800-503-1993. 1993.
All right, I'm gonna do that. I'm put it in chat room. Moderators, could y'all repost that? Because I want to back it all the way up. What makes somebody be like, okay, well, I wake up one day, I'm becoming a hypnotherapist. How did that happen?
That was weird. I went for hypnotherapy when I was in labor with my second daughter because I just I melted right down. I was just like, I cannot do this again. I almost died the first time. The pain was so bad. I cannot do this again. And I found some random in the Yellow Pages. I was living in New York and I went down to, I think, 41st Street or 40th Street. And it was an awful experience. The guy was awful. He just took my money. There was no receptionist when I came in. It was like a dark, dingy room. It was just weird. It didn't work. But I still knew that hypnotherapy was real. It didn't change my ideas at all. Mm-hmm. But then there was training at the University of Toronto. And I just happened upon it. It was just, I just know it was meant to be. I happened upon it. And it was starting in like 2 days. And I had to hurry up and do the registration and everything. And I just jumped into it. And then I had not great training. Mm-hmm. I will admit it wasn't very good, but I didn't care because I understood the basics, you know? And that was enough.
That's cool because like, it's just crazy how it is. Like, you want to do something and then it shows. I always see that as like kind of like a signal from the universe when you say, okay, I want to do whoopty wham, and then you look up. Cause that's how it was like with me in cards. Like I have kind of been looking at the cards, but then I was like, I really want to study this discipline. And I Googled.
But look at how fast you got good. It was like instantaneously. It was just like you were meant to do it. It was the same thing for me. I was immediately good.
Yeah.
Not to toot my own horn, but I was like really good.
Yeah.
Session 1.
Yeah, it's because it's a thing. You ready to do it, and then as soon as I was ready to do it, I looked up online. It was like the class starts tomorrow. It was almost the same thing.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, oh shit, let me pay my money right now. No, shout out to my teacher Aquarius. But
then after I was done, I jumped in with 2 feet. I went to this little rinky-dink health fair that was in a high school basement. And I went there ready to do business. I had my little pad and I was giving out pamphlets. I was calling people over to my table. Come on over here. What do you know about hypnosis? And booking appointments right then and there.
Wow.
And this was maybe a week or 2 after. I just jumped right in. I was scared to death. The first client showed up and I was just like, what have I done? What have I gotten myself into? Oh my gosh. This was a mistake. I was so nervous. But she did so well. So well. And she sent me new business. So it was great.
Tasha Ray in the chat room sent a super chat saying, I love you, Kendall. You're the best.
Oh, thank you.
See, people in here, they use the services. And so I don't want to make it to people listening. Look.
Oh, Tasha.
Yeah,
you said Tasha Ray. Yeah. I thought you said something. Hey, Tasha girl. Hi.
What's up, Quan, in the chat room? Welcome, Positive Influence.
Hey, Quan.
Yeah, so what are we doing here? What are we talking about? We're talking about mental health because mental health is a thing that is always discussed. There are multiple forms of mental health. Of course, there's taking care of yourself, drinking water, there's therapy. There's all kinds of stuff, not being at the wrong job, not stressing. There are a lot of ways to take care of your mental health. And what this is, y'all know me at this channel, I'm not a straightforward, mainstream kind of cat. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, for you to listen to anything I gotta say, you kind of got to be off the beaten path yourself too. You straight ahead people, for a lot of people straight ahead, I ain't the one. So the people listening, a lot of you guys also kind of offbeat in comparison to the people that you know. So what we're talking about is just an offering, and to put it in your mind, really, I want, if you guys have any questions in the chat room, I want y'all to get y'all questions out, because people really, they hear about stuff like this, but they don't think it's real. And then so my job is to use the little platform I got to bring people who are good at different things and put them in your, and introduce them to you. I don't get paid for this. We're not doing this for money. I'm doing this because I had something that worked. And when I look at how it's helped me, it's like in so many ways. It's like, why not? Especially being someone who went through the years of therapy. Kendell, talk to us about like when being, how do people react when you tell them you do hypnotherapy? Like,
I don't bring it up. I hate going to like cocktail parties or, gatherings. Inevitably, someone says, "Oh, so what do you do for a living?" You never want to say, "I'm a hypnotherapist." Because you just don't. Because then people say stupid things like, "Okay, hypnotize me right now. I bet you can't hypnotize me right now." Stupid things. I don't talk about it. I don't. I'll say I'm a therapist at most, but I don't get into those conversations if I can help it.
smart. That's like, I don't tell me about read cards. You were so
Like, I'm
psyched.
just here for the drinks. I came for the drinks,
We
not to
got
talk
D
about what
in
I
the house,
do.
and D is somebody I want to interview pretty soon too.
Hey,
She said she got a session and it changed your life. Y'all should follow Astro D. Astro D.
Astro D5, I think.
Yes, D. You said something about the Gemini what Gemini is going through on your reading show last week, and Lord, it helped me out. I should have listened a little closer. I wouldn't have been so damn stressed out like I was.
That's the purpose of these readings, so that you can maneuver and negotiate and handle stuff.
And if you talked to me 5 years ago, I am not dealing with none of this stuff. I'm like, man, if you don't get your ass out of my face and let me watch the Lakers. We got Derek J in the chat. He said, super chat, he said, shouts out to Kendell. I've been locked in ever since our session. Appreciate you. See,
Hey, Derek.
people that are watching, this ain't no, like, these are people who Kendall's really impacted. And she's been on this channel before, but it's been a while. So it's a lot of new people to the channel. So I want to reintroduce her to people new to the channel, or introduce her to people new to the channel, and reintroduce Kendell, from the last time we spoke, because so many people went and used your services. Someone asked, he's in here a lot. He's a regular. He said, would hypnotherapy help with PTSD?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How? Talk to us.
It's just like anything else. I find out, you fill out the intake form. I find out how it affects you, what you feel physically. Sometimes people with PTSD will say that they feel like a vibration going through their body, or they get hot, their head and their hands or their neck, whatever it is. I just take all that information, find out what was the event that they're, dealing with, and then neutralize that, and then make them feel better, and then give them all kinds of different cues that they'll see and hear during the day to keep them calm. And then also they can also have something to do, like even with your hand, you just rub your fingers together. If you ever feel stress coming on before it gets full blown, that you sleep soundly and deeply and have pleasant dreams. It depends on what it is and what they're going through, what they experience, how we'll do the programming. But I don't program anyone without their permission first. So if you probably remember, Dwann, before I started counting you down, I told you, okay, so now we're going to do this, 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 and this, so that, you're not surprised. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, so what you do basically, I remember when I was in talk therapy, they'd always try to go to the root, whatever traumatic event was there. But when you go to talk therapy, they may help you get to the root of that, but then they'll just say, explore the 2 or 3 things and see if it helps you out in replacing, because you have to replace whatever you're taking out. You got to replace it with something. But therapy has been like a trial and error, and you could be in years going through that trial and error trying to find what to replace whatever that traumatic event with. In hypnotherapy, are you saying that basically you can do that within a few sessions?
Yeah. Yeah. If you think about what we worked on, there were, I don't know, 4 or 5 things the first session. Then we fine-tuned maybe 3 of those things the second session, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the third session was purely manifestation. And boy, did you manifest like immediately after. Like right after. That was amazing.
Yeah.
And you know what? Full disclosure, we're doing this interview right now because of Astro D. She said, Kendell, the 4th is a great time for you to be exposed publicly. I was like, all right, I'm going to call Dwann and ask him if he'll put me on. And my hero, yes, you did.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
Because like you've done so much for me. It's like whenever you call and say, hey, you need woomty wham, I got you. Because you're right. When we did that manifestation one, before I would self-sabotage myself a lot on a lot of things. I would get to a point and then I would do things. Like even back then, with this, so far as like with this YouTube channel, I would do something, get a bunch of views or whatever, and then the minute I get a video with 20, 30,000 views, I wouldn't post a video for like a week and a half or some shit like that. Just little, and it would never be on purpose. It would be something to come up. It seems like every time I would be
self-sabotage.
Yeah, every time it'll be like, I'll get a good payday or something, doing something, and I'll have good stuff that's following right behind it, and I would just for whatever reason wouldn't go through with that. We had that session and that shit ain't happened since. I mean, it's just been like back to back to back to back to back. And for people out there, let me make something very clear. I'm not saying it's gonna happen to you. Things happen to you in your own season. But when you know in your heart when it's the right time to move forward, you know in your heart, everybody got some shit that we are kind of getting in our own way, stubbing our own toe on. The key is to be realistic about it, because what most people do is they blame other people instead of looking in the mirror and seeing what it is. If you're at that point to where you understand that there's something that you're doing, that's the point that it is you call Kendell. Go ahead.
Sometimes it's not what you're doing. Sometimes it's what people have done to you.
Yeah.
A lot of people are dealing with some toxic relationships and situations that, like you can't always navigate, negotiate on your own, depending on the circumstances. I speak with a lot of people who, family issues that are horrific. They're horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they've gotten as far as they have and done as well as they have, they should be proud. But they have a lot more to do. And, when you're encumbered by bad memories and, trauma, once you let that go, it makes it so much easier to fly and soar and go for what you want. And then even like now, right now is my season of New Year's resolutions. All the people that make New Year's resolutions, my phone's going to start ringing off the hook. What's today, the 4th?
Yeah.
By the 7th.
Yeah.
By the 7th, my phone's going to ring off the hook.
Yeah. And you said something. Mama Zeke in the chat says, "Hey, I'm so glad you're doing this. Kendall's amazing." Another person that worked with you.
Yeah. Her whole family is lovely.
Yeah, she's an amazing person. She is.
Absolutely.
So you said something key about family. Talk to us about how much family trauma people carry, and they don't even know that they're carrying.
Half of my clients are men. Mm-hmm. And now for the past, I guess, almost 2 years exclusively, half of my clients have been Black men. And I'm hearing, and there's men on the internet that I don't necessarily vibe with that are anti-black woman. They have a lot of slick stuff to say about black women, and I don't want to jump on their bandwagon, but one of the things that I'm hearing is a lot of black men feel that they were raised by black mothers that hated them, that didn't connect with them, that just found them to be a nuisance, and I think it has something to do with the relationships between black men and black women. Because if a man doesn't trust or like his mother, how does he ever even look at a woman with love and with respect if he doesn't respect his mother? If he has a mother that's out there and she's doing all kinds of crazy stuff and, she's neglectful, she's cold, she's cruel, it doesn't set black women up for a very loving relationship.
Yeah. And so you see people basically carrying the burden of their family. Like, how often will you, like, I know me, when I would do sessions, and even when I do my car sessions with people, as I'm digging into what's underneath their traumas, a lot of that stuff is things that happen at a young age or at a certain time of their life. It was a traumatic event that they just totally forgot about.
Yeah.
Like, why is it that, to me, that's why I think it's so important that people do things like therapy, because a lot of times we've lived things that we've just had to get past at some point. But then that happened at 12, 5, 17 or whatever. But you're now 42, 43, 60, living off of that event that you've totally forgotten about. How often do you see that in what you do? Like, people just really living off something that happened 40 years ago.
All the time.
All the time?
All the time. But one of the things that I remind people is that you don't have to carry it. If you allow yourself to let it go, when you forgive the people or person that's hurt you, it's only for you. And it sounds cliche, but the truth is, until you release that anger, I don't know how you can move on.
Yeah.
To really feel free. So really important to let that, and we do exercises under hypnosis for that, to let things go.
Yeah. Childhood trauma, like, and you said something real cool. You said it's a lot of black men coming to you.
A lot. I would say 50%, close to 50.
Mm-hmm. That's dope. Like, and I've seen that too in my car business. And that's something like we gotta just overall gotta always see. They always talking about what black men aren't doing. And what I want to point out to people is this: black men overall, we know we ain't at our best. We know we could be doing a lot better. And we also understand there's a system that's in the way, but we also understand that there are things that we can do that a system can't stop. But in order to get there, you got to clear out things in your own mind. And I want to say personally, I'm proud of black men because of my car businesses here. I would say about half my clients have been men, black men.
Yeah. And all walks of life, right?
Yeah. Men are...
I have thugs. I have homeboys. I have doctors. I have lawyers. I have teachers, truck drivers. I mean, everyone, all walks of life. And they are about getting their lives straight.
Yeah, so that's a message to the brothers and sisters out there. See, specifically to the brothers, because the women, y'all pretty much know how to, get up on it. And for the sisters who don't, it's this is the time to get up on it, and I want to salute y'all because people are really starting to take their mental health serious.
Absolutely.
And that's why, like, I'm saying to everybody that's out there, like, it's very important that you listen and at least think about it. And this is why I say, people always ask me, what happens, Kendell, if someone asks you, well, I've never been to therapy or I already have a therapist? How do you work with that?
Oh, I see people that are seeing a therapist all the time. That's not unusual. Not
Okay.
all the time, but yeah, that's not unusual.
Okay.
And what I do doesn't interfere with what they do unless the client turns around and says to their therapist, you know what, I'm good. You can discontinue. But I
How-
don't tell anyone to do that. But, I have 25 years experience. The past 2 years have been almost exclusively with Black clients. Prior to that, we didn't want no parts of me at all. I was I was just discarded, not interested. I could count on 10 fingers my Black clientele in 23 years.
10. Like,
Or 24 years, yeah,
so do
10.
you think being in Canada has a part something to do with that?
No, 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 because I used to travel. I used to have people travel to me, but then I would always also travel.
Yeah.
And no, I don't think it has anything to do with being in Canada.
And you're still in Canada and you've had exclusively Black clients for 2 years. So yeah, yeah.
And but they're all American.
Yeah.
Well, not just American. I have some UK clients too.
Okay, so for people listening, they can contact you, and whether they're in the UK, Canada, America, and why is that? Because you work through
As
Zoom,
long as
right?
they have high speed internet, I can work with them.
What's
I
the
do
difference
Zoom.
between when you did it face to face and Zoom? Is there a difference?
Only difference is they don't have to go and battle traffic and chaos going back home after their session. They're already home, they're relaxed, they feel good. They can just like, well,
Yeah, yeah. I went
you
right to sleep.
know, you're already home, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Jason, I was
So
in the
I
chat
think
room. You're right. We
it's
trying to
I
build
wish I could
ourselves,
see.
huh?
I wish I could see the chat. I'm trying to be cute without any glasses on. It's the words are just dancing around the screen on my phone.
Yeah, Jason says we're trying to build ourselves, and that's true. Like brothers, we really are trying to build ourselves, and for
Oh,
me,
absolutely.
yeah, like for me, I say, if you are seeing a therapist, you're not cheating on your therapist if you have a session with Kendell. But what I will say is, you're gonna have the next time you go see a therapist, you're gonna have jump leaps and bounds, and your therapist is gonna be looking at you like, "Whoa, you've had a great week. What happened?" So
Yes, probably.
if you end up firing your therapist, it's not Kendall's fault. It's just because you followed through with what you thought you need, what you know you needed to do to move forward and advance in your mental health. What are some other things that you can do? I know you have a lot of different things you can do hypnosis with. Like, what are some things chat room, if y'all have questions, I want y'all to ask questions about what else can be done. But Kendell, what other things can you do with hypnotherapy?
All kinds of stuff. Oh goodness. Depression, grief, PTSD, goal setting, procrastination, self-confidence, memory for people that are students and they have exams and things.
Wait,
I've
hold on,
worked.
hold on, hold on. Memory.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, you can increase your memory and your retention and recall using hypnosis.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I could really get
Yeah.
my memory down right. Oh, okay, okay. What else can you do? Man, I like that memory one because I smoke a lot of weed now. But not about me. What other?
What else? Gosh, so much stuff. I work with cancer patients. What else? Gosh, there's so much stuff. Like anything and everything.
When you say cancer patients, what do
Each
you mean by
person
that?
comes, they have something different. They have a different reason why they're coming. They have different wants, needs, and desires. Sometimes they don't. When I say what in the form, it says, what are you looking to use hypnosis for in order of importance? And maybe someone will put down 3 things, but then I'll go through the whole intake. And then I'll say, well, what about here? You said this, and here you said this, and here you said this. Don't you want to work on those things? Like, oh, yeah, that too. The intake form alone opens up people's minds to different possibilities that they didn't even consider. Like they'll answer a question and they still won't put two and two together that that's an issue that should be worked on.
Okay. And that's cool because it really me like a mental oil change. Like you be dumping all kind of stuff out and filters and all kind of I like that. Because we're talking about moving forward in 2023 with your mind right, because I know how it is with me. Like, I know this is 7 of Hearts here, and as far as the cards go, and this is going to be a year of a lot of boundaries being crossed. It's also going to be a lot of shortages this year, and we've already started seeing it happening. Going into last year, and we've seen the disruption in lines of communication, with Southwest Airlines. So whether you listen to me reading the cards or Dee kind of says something similar in her astrology reading, or you can just pull up the New York Times and they're talking, or you can go to the grocery store and see $10 eggs. Whatever angle you want to look at it at, 2023 looks like it's about to be a bitch.
Yeah.
How important is it, Kendall, that people get their mind right?
You really want to be fortified to deal with what's coming down the pike. And that could mean starting a side hustle or a whole new business so that you can be in control of your finances, because jobs will be lost for sure. And the inflation is absolutely ridiculous. So fine-tuning your life so that you can be as functional as possible, I would think, is mandatory at this point. Because it's ugly and it's going to get uglier.
Yeah, it's pretty bad right now because that's
and this is nothing. This is nothing.
Yeah. Have you? I got a question because I'm silly. Have you ever because I grew up in the '80s on watching TV shows, and in the '80s they always had the hypnotist that made people do cartwheels and scratch their ass like a monkey. Like I don't want you doing that shit to me. But have you ever done a show where you made somebody go like ooga ooga ooga? You ever done that?
Not like a monkey, but I did something I'm not very happy about. I'm not proud of. I dipped my toe into stage hypnosis, and it was kind of a dare from a fellow hypnotist. And I had this, it was maybe 5 or 6 people that I had on stage. And I told them that they were in nursery school or kindergarten, and we were doing Ring Around the Rosies. And I told this guy that he pooped his pants, and he started crying, and he really believed he pooped his pants. And I had to hurry up and fix it. And I felt terrible. I couldn't believe I did that. That was just so, that wasn't nice. I was like, no, it wasn't you. It's my mistake. You didn't do that.
Shit.
But yeah,
I learned
that was rough.
I learned hypnosis just to make somebody think that they shit their pants. Like, why not?
I didn't even know this person. It was just so not cool. That was not cool of me.
And
I didn't know what to do.
Whatever happened,
I'm not used to stage.
Whatever happened, it was worth it, so I can hear that story. On TV they'll have it. I remember watching them old it always been an episode of Knight Rider where Michael Knight got knocked out and he saw a hypnotist and then the person just snapped their finger. And then does that real where somebody just snap their finger and then you go back to doing something and then you snap your finger? Is that real?
There's a little more to it, but yes. Well, just like when I put you under, I counted you back up so that it would be nice and gentle and it would feel good. But I could have also said when I snap my fingers, you're awake.
Yeah.
And you would have reacted accordingly.
Yeah. I will say this.
That doesn't feel good.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. I bet it doesn't.
Even if you remember being counted back up, that felt good too.
It does. It does. It feels like you waking up, and it feels like you're like, a new day.
Yeah, exactly.
It does. Like, yeah. Asher D says it is some powerful shit. Literally, yes, it is. And it's something that, look, if you're out there and you're skeptical, that's fine. Nothing wrong with being skeptical. And if you think it's not for you, that's fine too. Everything ain't for everybody. And
This is only for people that are looking for a life hack, that doesn't want to struggle, that wants quick results.
yeah. That's what it's for, because it's like, it's something, again, some people, you may be overall doing fine, but it's a particular area of your life where you continue to, like, you're ready to elevate past that particular level. This works.
Really, even after, there's a thing in Chinese medicine, and it's about prevention much less than it is about cure.
Mm-hmm.
Really, clients should check in once a year, whether it's the anniversary of their first session or around their birthday time, to, like, if you're really paying attention to your life, you will take stock yearly. Looking at that intake form yearly, and as your life changes and progresses, you'll still see things on that same intake that you'll want to change or adjust or whatever. Maybe, it could be 5 years later, you're like, you know what? I think I want to quit my job and I want to start a school, or whatever it is. It's just a way to give you that edge and to keep that edge going.
Jason Ellis asks, is it tapping into the subconscious?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's what it is. That's how it works. 'Cause the subconscious is controls, really, for the most part, everything that we do, and
everything.
Everything.
People think it's their mind. Nope. You can think that you know what you want and believe and desire, but your subconscious knows all. So even though out of your mouth you may say, I want to be a millionaire, your subconscious knows, I don't really want to be a millionaire, because if I make that money, I'm going to lose it. I don't want to be a millionaire because if I do, then I won't know who's really my friend and who's just in it for the money. I don't want to be a millionaire because money is evil, and I don't want that in my life. Your subconscious, you pick up things your whole life, information and things, and you don't realize how your subconscious grabs onto it. You have no idea. So it's always good to just clean that out from time to time.
Yeah, you're right. We have the trauma as at a young age, but also as we get older, we develop traumas, whether it be being fired from a particular job that we love, a bad breakup in a relationship. There are things that happen to us as adults that because we as humans, we have this negativity bias, and it's a natural human trait. You go through a particular trauma, your mind always goes back to that trauma whenever faced with a similar scenario. So I like what you said about having a yearly check-in, because I can definitely see how that can really help maintain what's going on.
Right. It's self-care. Mm-hmm. It's self-care. You just making sure everything, it's like you said, a tune-up for your car. Just making sure everything's smooth.
Yeah, that's what it is. Make sure everything is smooth. And also just knowing that you can get help without having to be somewhere once a week for an hour at a time,
It's a lot of money. Like, once your insurance runs out,
it's a lot of money, even when you have insurance with the copay. Because when you look at it, I remember one therapist I had, the copay was $30 a session. And that was cool. I had it, but when you do now that's $30 a session, $120 a month. You've been going 9 months. It's like, God damn, I could have got that new
4 years.
Yeah, I could have got that 74-inch QLED, and that's with insurance.
Yeah.
I remember one therapist I had she was like kind of an alternative therapist, and she was really good, but she couldn't take my insurance, and those sessions were. I used to pay my sessions there were. I think I was paying her $320 a month, and this when I had my job. My job wasn't paying me like that. You know what I mean? But I had to have it. That's why I
Right.
was so happy when I found you and what you do. I had been hearing people tell me about hypnotherapy, and I was like, look, I ain't about to be walking down around town scratching my ass because somebody snapped their thumb. That's not about to happen. So
We have better things to do than that one.
I was scared.
Were you really?
I grew up watching the A-Team and Knight Rider and Heathcliff and all the TV shows and the Naked Gun movies and Police Academy. So every time I saw somebody getting hypnotized, they were doing some silly shit. I was like, man, ain't nobody
Yeah.
about to have no control over my mind like that.
But it's just not what happens in a therapeutic session, though.
Yes.
It's a little bit different. And you found me through King Simon.
Through King Simon. Salute to King Simon. Yes.
Salute to King Simon.
Because every year, around the end of the year, I like to either see an astrologer, a numerologist, a card reader, or somebody to really just help me plan out the next year and see. Because again, like even when it comes to my card reading, I tell people all the time to get after they get their initial card reading from me, just get it. You know, it's good to have at least once or twice a year to sort of see navigate where the pitfalls are going to be.
Right.
And
you warned me with my cardology reading.
I did. How did I help you?
You told me that I was getting ready to hit a dry spell. Remember?
Yeah, I don't remember it, but now you said
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
you told me I was going to hit a dry spell. And then Simon had told me that I was going to hit a dry spell. Then after you told me, then I checked with D because I did not want to believe it. And then D was like, oh, yeah. Ooh. But here's where knowing what's to come, you can take appropriate action. So I swirled around that manifestation portal and I threw one up, and it was, I need all my bills to be paid and to be paid on time, please, and thank you. And I didn't think about it again. And 2 days later, bam, just like that. Just like that, I was good. I'm still good. Yeah, it was.
See,
If I didn't have that confirmation, I would have been like, maybe I'm in the wrong business. Maybe, maybe this is. No, it was my time.
It was your time. I remember that now.
You know what you told me? You told me you've got to start writing your book. It gave me time to write. It gave me time to plan. It gave me time to go over all my files. It gave me time to do all kinds of stuff that I wouldn't have had time to do otherwise. Okay. And no, the book is not written, so don't ask.
But at least you got started on it somehow.
Yeah. I have to tell you what I came up with the other night. I've got something amazing.
Okay, what is it?
Oh, I can't say it on here.
Okay. Okay. Later on. Yeah, so I'm glad I got to say it because, and Simon helped me out with it. You know, Simon, he, a lot of the big moves I made over the last 4 years, I got to give Simon some of his numerology readings credit for just when certain things was happening, certain changes was going on. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he did. Okay, yeah, and that's what it's for.
Right, so you can navigate.
Kim G in the chat room says Kendall is the sweetest, and she give you roses.
Oh, thank you. Who is that?
Kim G.
Oh, Kim, that's Pinky.
Oh yeah. So it's a lot of people out here. For those of you in the chat room and you're skeptical, all this show, we've been having people tell you how great her services have been. Those who've used it, these are bona fide clients of Kendall. So
yeah, I've seen lots of your people. Lots of your people have come through.
That's dope.
And they all say such great things about you. All of them.
Y'all making me look good out there. I appreciate y'all. Because again, this isn't a pitch to anybody. This is an offering because there are people out there who want to get their minds right. And things like hypnotherapy is off the beaten path. It's not something that we're told about in school, nothing that we're encouraged to follow through with. So there are people who are skeptical. So I basically want to use today to show people that it's nothing to be scared of. It's nothing to be skeptical about. And no, skepticism is good. It's natural. Ask your questions. Kendall has her number. We put out there. It's in the description. It's in the description. Kendall's phone number is in the description.
Did you
put it
put
in
my
there.
website?
I didn't put the website in there. I could put it in there right now. I'll put it in chat. What's the website?
Hypnosiswithkendell.com.
All right, I just put it in the chat room. And matter of fact, I'm going to okay. I'm going to put it in the description bar also. There we go. Okay, I got it. So yeah, I'm going to put that down in the description also because I want people to know that it's not some woo spooky thing that you need to be scared of.
No, it feels good.
It does.
It feels so good. It's like a mind and body massage all at once.
It does. It does.
And then you get the results.
You do get the results. Biz Marti says he's done hypnotherapy. It works. Yeah, it has worked. So, we got to know that as free thinkers. As free thinkers, the news ain't gonna tell us everything that's right for us. We can't wait on the mainstream movies and the mainstream TV shows.
Oh, they show it though. Yeah, I've seen lots of great reporting.
They talk about it. They talk about it, but when you watch those TV commercials, it's gonna say, "Take this pill."
Right.
Take this medicine. They're gonna say,
has to get paid.
Period. Yeah, do something to wish it away. So, we have to make sure that we use the grapevine. This is the grapevine, where each one teach one, pass along information that has worked for us. And it's something that, you want to consider. And same thing with the, whether it be, and not with my card reading, same thing. I'm not really trying to push my cards right now.
You should. You should.
I probably should. BreakthroughCardology.com. Well, no, that's not that website. Breakthrough Cardology.com isn't up yet, but Breakthrough Cards, breakthroughas.org, my other company, you still can get to my cards from there. I actually put that in the description also because that's what it's really all about. It's all about getting this shit right. So Kendall, can you, I know we're not gonna be here too much longer. Just talk to us about, what are some of the things you've seen people truly, truly benefit from when it comes to hypnotherapy?
The most remarkable thing that I've seen was a woman who had cancer. And we discussed this once before, but she had cancer. She was a born-again Christian, did not believe in hypnosis, said that it was the devil's work, but yet she was still willing to come in for a session. She came in at night with her husband, and I asked him to wait outside because this man's heart was breaking. That same day, they had gone to the oncologist who said, "Get your affairs in order." And this man, you could just see he was in excruciating emotional pain. I had him sit outside in my waiting room, close the door, and I said, first things first, we're going to do this, but I need you to kick him out of your bedroom. I don't want you to see his face. I don't want you talking to him. Just let him bring your meals up to your bedroom. And when you hear him get downstairs, down on the landing, then you can open the door and bring your food in. You cannot deal with him because he's too hurt right now. And you have some serious work to do. And she followed instructions. He called me. He cursed me out, which was okay. I've been cursed out before. I've got broad shoulders. And back then I was still using cassette tapes. This was back in the 90s, late 90s. So she listened to the recording. And the first thing I told her was, I need for you to find out from your doctor exactly what needs to happen in your body for you to be able to receive treatment so that you can fight for your life. And I said, and then tell it to me in terms you understand.
Wow.
Because your brain is going to make this happen. The brain handles all the functions of the body. It makes you breathe when we don't think, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. The brain does that, right? I said, so I need you to give me your understanding of what needs to happen. And that's what we're going to work with. We did. I made the cassette while I was hypnotizing her. And I told her, you listen to that like 5 times a day. And just, go in your ensuite, take bubble baths, listen to nice music, like just be easy. Your husband, your mother, your nanny, whoever can look after your kids, I need you to just be secluded and do the work. And she did it. And it was like, I don't know if it was a week later, she went back to her oncologist and they did the tests and he was like, I don't know how this happened. This is a miracle. And called the hospital, like got her in immediately, right away. So yeah, I used to bump into her in the supermarket.
That's dope. That's dope. It just really
That
shows.
was the most extreme thing because that was seriously life or death. When you're sent home to go die.
Basically the hospice.
You've got little kids.
That's that right there. Yeah, like.
Oh, wait. Let me just interject.
Go ahead.
Her oncologist never sent me a single referral. Not one.
They're like, okay, this new alternative stuff ain't doing what we want to get done. And this is in Canada. So if they acting like assholes in Canada like that, imagine what they doing
but you know what,
in the USA.
These doctors here don't make the money that doctors in the States make.
But that's the thing. Doctors in the States make more. They're greedy. So they're not going about here. They're not about to give away somebody that's not going to help them with the comeback.
Right.
They need you to come back.
Tell you, I was in a medical building. I had my own suite, and on my floor, it was my office. There was a psychiatrist who fed me business all the time, and there was a clinic. Above, there was a dentist and a doctor. Below, there was a pharmacy and something, I don't remember. But none of those doctors, none of them sent me referral business, only the psychiatrist. And I asked him, well, how come you send your clients to me? Why don't you hypnotize them? He said, I don't know how to do it. You're great at it. And I'm able to get rid of these people, because he was frustrated because he had clients that he was seeing for years and years. They weren't getting any better. They were just a pain in his ass at that point. So he would send them over to me and then they'd be happy. So it was good for all involved.
Even a psychiatrist said, get your ass out of my office. I'm tired of talking to you.
He had lots. You would be surprised how many patients he had where he was just, he'd come in and he'd go, if I have to talk to this woman one more time and listen to this same shit, I can't. And we would just laugh.
See, that's what I'm talking about. See, I appreciate you, Kendell. I put your website in the description and phone number. What's some things you want to leave them with as we close it out?
Take care of yourself. You can spend your money on things, or you can spend your money on experiences and self-help, ways to help your life. The things will always be there. You'll always be able to do that. But once you feel good inside, it makes such a difference. Such a difference.
That makes sense. I appreciate that. Wow. So for people listening, just know that, when it comes to mental health and taking care of your mind, there are thousands of ways to do it. And do whatever's on your spirit. Do whatever's on your heart. But at the same time, I do want to make sure I give you guys this offering as an option for securing your mind and keeping what's going on in your mind clear. Kendall's great at it. I've personally got testimony. You've seen people here in the chat room. This ain't nothing that I told them to come in here. These are my regulars in the chat. Some of them, and that I didn't tell them to come in here and say, "Hey, root one for Kendall." No, they did it because she's actually helped them out.
And I appreciate them and you so much. So much. Thank you, Dwann. You have been so supportive from day one. Day one.
I appreciate that. I had to, because it's like when something works, you know, there's like y'all there. Well, some people out there, when they get something that works, they want to hide it themselves. I'm the kind of person, when something works, when I see a plug, any friend of mine tell you, if I see a plug or anything, I'm telling everybody, because I want everybody to know. And that's how I am with my friends. And so I'm no different online. You know, online is like, okay, something to help me, I want all y'all to know. You know what I mean? And then maybe somebody could do it. Somebody probably got something in their mind that's going to knock it out the park, and it's going to be good for all of us. So if somebody listening out there got something that they're just a mental hang up away from creating the greatest thing that can be beneficial to us all, why not give them the plug on how they can possibly get to it? Because I feel everybody listening has their own level of greatness. And the only thing that's ever gotten our way as a people, more so, yeah, we deal with white supremacy. I get it. Those traumas have happened. The biggest thing those traumas have done to our people is the descendants of people who've gone through those traumas have lived lives thinking they're either not worthy of the greatest things, or when they have an idea that can be the greatest idea, they're scared to execute it because they're scared of what these people are going to do, or they're scared of what they might do themselves, or they're sometimes it ain't about them. They scared of the person down the street shooting them. People who grew up with the hood trauma. We grew up with so much shit. So if we can do a thing here or there to get rid of that shit, let's do it. And Kendall, I think that you are a major catalyst behind revolutionizing how people think and helping people solve their issues and getting through their own mental hangups. And I want you to know that you appreciate it.
Thank you, Dwann. Thank you so much. And I just want everyone to know it's completely confidential. It doesn't go past me. That's it. That's all.
That's it. Same thing.
I don't even have a secretary or receptionist. So
I'm with you right there. See, you still talk to people when they call. I got a booking system. I don't have a receptionist. Y'all got to go to my website, book. I'll holler at y'all on the day of the session.
That's so cold. You know why I do that, though? Why? And I tell people, call me, because people think, you know, they can't call and ask questions, or I'm going to charge them to talk to me. And I don't. Like, I would prefer to establish a rapport with you immediately before our session, you know? So call, ask your questions. I'm more than happy, and I'm very approachable, more than happy to talk to you. And then if you decide that you want to move forward, then we can book an appointment. I'll send you my intake form and we'll take it from there. But there's no you know,
you're right. See, you personal. For me, I might be in a loud ass studio with a bunch of people cracking jokes and saying a whole bunch of ignorant shit. And the last thing I want for somebody to call me for a session and somebody in the background saying, "You motherfucker, y'all, you know, I've been on all these podcasts and music studios." I'm like, it's a good chance if you call me midday, I'm somewhere that you don't want to hear what's going on in the back. But
yeah, I've heard some raunchy stuff in the background calling you. That's true. That's true.
But if people do have a question about card, that's why I try to make myself available on the YouTube channel. And if y'all got questions, y'all can email me info@dwannb.com. But the same thing is confidential, because the last thing people are, like, for people who are skeptical, the last thing a business owner wants is for one customer to say that person told everybody my business, because that will ruin
Forever.
Forever. Even if you did, it's one of those things, even if you didn't do it and somebody heard about it who heard about it, even if they do come to you, they're going to have that in the back of their mind. There's nothing you can tell me or Kendell that's worth the name of the business. That's number one. Two, for me, when I be reading people, I channel that shit. I be channeling. When I'm done reading, I don't remember shit I told y'all. You're going to have to remind me. Get how many times have you told me? Like, I've read you and you were like, remember when you said, I'm like, I did. Yeah, I did. I don't remember.
See, for me, I am completely confidential unless you tell me that you are going to harm yourself or someone else. Then legally, I do have to report it.
Yeah, if you're gonna harm, yeah, if you're a danger to yourself or someone else, of course. VSM asks, can she help with smoking?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. You take that smoking right out.
Yeah, but you think you want to come for smoking. If you look at the whole intake form, you're going to go, oh yeah, maybe I should work on that too. And that, and that, and that. And you can do multiple things. So it works out really well.
That works. So contact Kendell. Her information is in the description, both phone number and website. And make sure that we get off to this 2023 right and have our minds right. And then those of you who've had sessions, go back and get a maintenance check. Because we want to make sure that even though we start off right, we want to make sure we stay on the right track. You dig? So, thank you, Kendell. I'll follow Kendell on Twitter. I mean, not Twitter, Instagram. Not Twitter, Instagram.
No, you know what? I started a YouTube channel.
Please tell them about it.
Okay, so I was supposed to do this for years. I finally did it today. I just put a little welcome intro. I'm wearing the same clothes, so you can tell it was just done today. And I will be active on my channel soon. So if you could please just follow me. It's Hypnosis with Kendell on YouTube.
You see it here at the bottom. It's Hypnosis with Kendell on YouTube and on IG. It's the same Hypnosis with Kendell.
Yes.
You've seen it under her name the whole show. Make sure that y'all follow that.
I can see what people are saying. Oh, wait, I see this. Kendell is cute. Herc. Hey, Herc. But I'm taken. Thank you, though. I like the compliment, but I'm very taken.
Kirk Owen. Yeah, my chat room is ignorant as hell. It's a bunch of worthless brothers. I love these brothers, but it's a whole bunch of sorry niggas in here. I love y'all brothers, but you niggas know y'all sorry.
You don't understand. At 57, you take those compliments as they come in. Herc.
Kirk. Yeah,
no, it's so Kirk, didn't it? You know I can't see.
And Kirk will support it. I want to salute to Kirk going. He says he's gonna be at your channel, and Kirk is a great supporter. So I know he's just playing and talking crap. He's someone who supports, and I want to let you know I support you and I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone in the chat room, and I know Kendell appreciates y'all.
I sure do.
Well, we all in this together. I'm the one speaking, but we would not be able to do this without y'all. So thank y'all again for listening. And I want y'all to remember this as I sign out. There are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages for those who are willing to pick up the game. Don't spend all day trying to look at the messenger and who did this, how they dress, what's this, what's that. Listen to the message. And within the message, get out of the message all there is for you. All right? Remember that. My name is Dwann B. This is Kendell at Hypnosis with Kendell and hypnosiswithkendell.com. We out.